Welcome back to Fishing the Ocean State. Many different ways to fish here in the Ocean State. One rewarding way, and maybe sometimes a little bit difficult, is fly fishing. But it can be fun. And one of the best at fly fishing in the Ocean State is Bob Hines. No matter the time of day, Bob Hines is ready to fly fish.
Now, is morning time a good time? Is it?
And yeah, I like to be out first light, and then of course late in the afternoon. But it depends on the day. Some days you catch them all day long.
That's my kind of day.
We're going to head right across to fish the opposite side of Guarded Park. We're going to make a drift along that eel grass, see if we got any bait trapped up in there. This time of the morning, what we're doing is we're looking for fish feeding up on the top, especially back in these areas where the bait could be trapped in. So we'll get in tight, we'll make a drift out, we'll make a dozen or so casts through here, see if we can pick something up. There's one. I knew there had to be one or two in here. So, see how important it is to drift and cover water? Like we've been drifting a bit, and then we got one right here. So we got to mark this spot as we continue our drift. Oh, this is not a bad fish. Good morning, Mr. Bass.
They often get it on the hit when it's hitting the water?
No.
Is that what, no?
That would be more or less if we were fishing surface flies, and we may do that a little bit later, but the fly that I'm using right now sinks. And what it's actually doing is it's just representing the natural baits, which is probably silver sides this time of the year.
Okay.
So, and you can see this line sinks a little bit.
Yep.
So it's going to take the fly down to hopefully where the fish are. See, that's the whole, there's one right there. There you go. So,
pretty quick?
We don't fool around.
I guess not.
It's like you doing a story, you know?
Right.
It's knowing your material.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to feel this, what it feels like on a fly, I mean,
Okay.
if you're right-handed, you can
Yes.
just put that in your hand,
Yep.
like that, and then put this over your finger, and then you'll just strip this in with this hand,
Yeah.
and keep the tip of the rod up. So, and then when the fish runs, you just let the line slip through your finger,
Oh, okay.
you know, and you can apply as much pressure as you want, based on the size of the fish. But you know, I tell everybody this is probably the best form of light tackle fishing.
Right.
On this particular outfit right now, we're fishing 20-pound test leader,
Yeah.
which of course is the monofilament section, and we'll catch fish up to 30 pounds. You know, it's just, the whole trick is knowing how much pressure to apply on the fish. It's the same thing with using your drag on a spinning outfit.
Okay. Do you feel him
When he
whack it? Is it a heavy whack, or is it just kind of a tap and then you feel it coming?
you'll be retrieving that fly. Let's get this guy back
Right.
in. You'll be retrieving the fly like I was, stripping it in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you'll just feel like, just stop it. So, pretty interesting. Once I got hooked on fly fishing, it was over.
Right.
You know, became addicted to it.
Right.
You know. So what we do is we chase everything. I just don't fish for stripers. You know, I fish freshwater, of course, for
Right.
trout and salmon, and then whenever I can, I'd like to take at least a good trip a year to either the Bahamas or Belize or some exotic place.
Right.
Just to,
I've heard Costa Rica is supposed to be
Costa
good.
Rica is a great place if you want to go down and catch top and a sailfish. That's on the
On
list.
fly rods?
Oh yeah, everything
All right.
I do is on a fly.
What's
you
the
know.
biggest fish you ever caught on a fly?
I had a 120-pound topping on a fly right to the boat, but I didn't land it. So it was it was about 45-minute battle. You want to try this one, Don? Let me see if he's running right to the boat. Now another thing that you can do, if you had a big fish, as he runs, you can see how he's pulling out line.
Yep.
Now if this was a big fish, what we would do is we would take the rod and reel in the excess line. That's called getting him on the reel. Because let's say this got hooked around the boat or something. You could, I didn't see that mooring right there. Steer him around. There you go. All right. You're gonna give up your day job.
Well, and this, I always worried about this though. The extra line, just the line just
Yeah.
goes right in the boat.
Goes
That's
right
just-
in the boat, or if you were waiting, you know, it'd drop down in front of you. But we
Right.
have like baskets that line. You've probably seen
Yeah, I've
guys
seen
with
the people with the big
stripping
baskets and
basket,
stuff.
and that's just a way to manipulate the
So
line
just keep just
around this finger.
around this finger.
There you
Okay,
go.
There you go.
And then when you get it in close, what you'll do is just bring the tip of the rod up, and the fish will come right out. Now, you get a little bit of bend out. Now, let some line out because you don't want to put too much pressure on him. That's when the fish runs,
Just let him go.
let him go. When he
Okay.
stops, it's, you know, people think that fly fishing is really sophisticated. No, just,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
that's
There you
okay.
go. Too much.
That's okay. Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, you do think that, oh, that's going to take too much time. That's kind of technical to do, you know?
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it really isn't. If you think about it, it's kind of primitive.
Of course, you need to learn to get the fly to the fish.
See, fly fishing is like not just catching fish. You know, you need to be able to cast.
Right.
You know, and I tell everybody that gets started in this, it's like anything else. You got to practice.
Right.
So the longer distance you can cast, that means you can stay off the fish without spooking them. The other thing, too, is the longer you cast, the longer your fly is swimming in the water.
Right.
So if an angler casts 30 feet, he's swimming his fly 30 feet. If the guy casts 100 feet,
Right. He's got more time to
That's
entice
double.
the fish coming in.
three times the amount.
Right.
So that's the trick.
All right, my chance to practice my first cast.
Cast this out, and I'll reel it in just to get it back up.
Oh,
So
okay. As you're going.
a lot of times you'll be reeling in. You
that's-
hook a fish. You know, sometimes we cheat. You know,
I
we'll
was
get.
going to say that's cheating fly
Well,
fishing.
it's cheating for the guys that can't fly fish.
Bob certainly isn't one of those guys. Am I? Well, we'll find out next time I try fly fishing for the first time and I take on Bob in a little competition. And if you want to learn more about fly fishing here in the Ocean State, you can contact Bob at flyfishri.com.